Hey, how's it going, everyone? Austin here from AppSheet Training, back with another daily no-code brief. Excited to talk about today's topic of automating your workflows. So today we're going to explore automations and bots, and we're going to do that through our steps of creating bots, configuring events to trigger actions, and then lastly, adding steps to your bots. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, this is the video for you. And then by the end of this tutorial, you're going to be able to have a high-level overview of how to create these bots for your own projects. And so today's topic, again, is automating your workflows with AppSheet. So excited to talk about this one and explore this concept a little bit more with everyone. And just want to take a minute to welcome everybody in the chat. So if you are new here or you're returning, go ahead and give us a thumbs up or a wave in the chat to say hi, that you're here. And then also, what are you excited to learn about today? If you have questions or are wondering about a certain concept or topic related to AppSheet or no-code in general, or your own AppSheet apps that you're working on, go ahead and leave those in the chat, and I will answer them live on the call today. As always, with all these sessions, they're always live. And so I'll be able to interact and answer those questions with you guys that are here. Okay. And then one more thing before we jump straight into the live stream. If you're new here, I want to welcome you to the channel. This is the AppSheet Training YouTube channel where we post content all about AppSheet and how to use the platform, what it's best used for, and then some more practical how-to tutorials, whether that's expressions, automations, building apps, full build use cases. We have those on the channel. So if you're looking for any of that type of content, this is the channel for you. And if you're looking to grow your business and improve your business systems, this is your channel for that as well. So I just want to welcome everybody new here and say thank you for taking the time out of your day to learn about this product with us. And so with that, I'm your host, Austin from AppSheet Training. Again, I'm excited for everyone here. And let's go ahead and get started with today's session. All right. Well, as I mentioned earlier, this is live Q&A. And so if y'all have questions or comments about how to use automations in AppSheet, feel free to add those in the chat as I'll be answering those throughout the live stream. All right. And so we're taking a look at our app, the Marketing Campaign Builder, and just kind of going through each of the stages as I would if I was building this app out for our business or a client. And showing you guys how we think about building the application based on certain requirements and everything. So the first thing that we did was build the data structure. And then the second thing is we configured the table configuration. And all of these are on our channel. So if you want to go back and watch the previous ones to catch up, more than welcome to do that. And then we also did app design yesterday. So thank you for everyone who attended yesterday. And today we're going to hop in and talk about automations. So here are the automation steps that we're going to cover today. We're going to talk about creating a bot first. And then next, we're going to look at configuring the event for the automation. And lastly, we're going to talk about how to add steps for that automation. So first step is creating the bot. So I'm going to also hop over here to our how to create an app view in AppSheet. So if you haven't been to this page, this is a super helpful page. If you're new to AppSheet, you can click on how to create an app up here on any like AppSheet homepage or something. And then you can go ahead and scroll down to step 6, create bots to run automations. And this gives you like a helpful visual of what we're going to be covering today. So we're going to talk about the events of the bot, and then we also have tasks, and then we also have processes. What's up, Stefan? Stefan says, Austin was in a heavy metal band. That I was. So if you're new here and you can find out what metal band I was in, you get bonus points for today's session. Okay, so we have events, tasks, and processes, right? And so we're going to talk about creating the overall bot, but this is going to be helpful just setting the stage, laying the land for how to create a bot in general. Okay. And so first one is events. And I'm going to hop back over to our AppSheet app and we'll go ahead and construct that first step. So creating a bot. How's it going, Dustin? We left off on views right here yesterday, making our task view here. And we might, if we have some time today, clean this up a little bit and we'll make this app look a little bit more user-friendly and everything and actually make it for what it's intended to use for. So to get to automations, we're going to go to automations, this little robot right here. And then if you haven't made one yet for your app, it's going to look like this. And you're going to go ahead and click this create my first automation. The other way you can get to adding a bot is up here. So once you have an automation, you won't have this option anymore. So you'll want to navigate up here to this plus sign. And so we'll go ahead and click create an automation and create a new bot. Okay, so that step one is done. The only last thing that we recommend doing is naming your bot. So for this bot, we are going to name it, let's say we're going to send an email of upcoming campaign. All right, so that might be something that we need for communication purposes for this marketing app. So send an email. That's what I forgot to put. Email of upcoming campaign. Okay. And so now we have that bot right there. And that's pretty much covers step one. So pretty simple, just adding the bot right there like so. And I'm going to go ahead and back over to my slides. So step one, we created the bot. Let's go ahead and give ourselves a check for that one and scratch it off our list. So step two is configure the event. So back over here, we can see we have the configure event button right here. And we're going to go ahead and click on that one and say create a custom event. Okay. And then once that happens, remember back over here in our steps from AppSheet, an event is something that happens that triggers your bot to run. And so that's how you can think about an event. It could be a certain type of day, such as every Friday at 11 a.m., or it could be a change in your data, such as when a new item is added to an inventory app. Okay, and so what I think I'm going to do for this use case is actually going to be a data change. And so every time a new campaign is added, I want it to notify the person that campaign is assigned to. And so the event is going to be a change in data. And so it's going to be new campaign added. All right. And so I can go ahead and name the event like that, and then call it new campaign added. And then from here, I'm going to say ads only, because I only want it to happen when I add a new campaign. All right. You have a couple different selections here. You can either do ads and updates, ads and deletes, deletes only, updates and deletes, or updates only. And then additionally, you can set more logic. So if you have like a status that needs to change, or a trigger button that you want to click. So I have a lot of automations that I personally use that are based off of trigger columns. And that's just a column in your Google Sheets that you can press. So that's an option for you as well for that one. But that covers that stage right there, right? So we set up the event. You can also control linking. I usually like this one on. I think this is a little bit of a new feature in AppSheet. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. But I think it used to like either always happen, or it seems rather new to me. But this one is pretty helpful. So that way you can like go use this in another automation. Okay, and so we'll leave it like that. And then we usually recommend turning this one on as well, so it can trigger that automation for us. And then you can set icons if you'd like. Newish and very goofy. Thanks, Stefan. Yeah, yeah. I also thought it was a little bit goofy, but yeah. So my recommendation is turning it on. Okay, so we've got that one set up, and then let's go back to our slideshow and mark that we've done our configuration. So we went ahead and configured the event, give ourselves a check, scratch that one off our list. Next step is to add steps. So I'm going to go back over here and add my first step. Okay, so this is actually where you're going to create what you want done. So this is like, you can see up here, it's called the process, right? And so if we go back to our cheat sheet over here from AppSheet, we created the event, we've got a task, and now the process is like this whole grouping of things. So the step is actually within the process, right? And there's tasks is the action that you actually want to happen. So that's like a little bit of a stage down. That's a good point, Dustin. So Dustin says, I've not found an instance where I've used the same event for multiple bots. They're all very different uses. Yeah, I would say that's true. And another just pro tip is like, watch out for like copying automations or duplicating them, I think is what it's called. I would recommend not doing it. It just you think it's going to save you time, and it just makes it more complicated. It gets all tangled, and you can't figure out which one is where. So I just always start from scratch. So that's a good call out there too, Dustin. A task is the action you want to happen when your event occurs, such as send an email. You can have multiple tasks for one event. And so that's kind of what we're setting up over here. When we click this, right? So we want to send an email. This is a task that we're wanting to happen. You have different options on this drop-down menu, right? You can do a data action, branch on a condition. You can wait for something to happen and then run the task. You can call a process or return values. So got a bunch of different things you can do within your automation. For this one, I'm just going to do a basic one of running a task. It's the one that's most common and the most like easily recognizable of like, oh, something actually happened there, right? And so let's just go ahead and create the first automation step. And we're going to say send an email. A new campaign has been added. Okay. And so we'll keep it like that. And then your task, you can select it right there, a custom task, and we want to send an email. Okay. And let's see. Run the task, send an email. Not getting my other options here yet. Let me head back here. Let's see. Or reuse an existing task. Okay. Turning the linking on. Okay, go to task. And interesting. Let me head back to my bots. We got our event set up and our task to send an email. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and save that for now. And I might get an error message. Let's see. Okay. Everything looks good. Let's click on this again. Okay, there we go. That was weird. I don't know why it wasn't showing me the rest of the information there. But we got it set up with the campaign table. So I'm going to head back and to my steps and check that one off the list. And we'll walk through the rest of this after we review this. And so we added our step, and we'll give ourselves a check for that. But we're not done quite yet. So let's go ahead and look at what AppSheet did once we saved it. So it gave us a custom template here. So that's what I needed to click. The email type, you're going to need to click custom template or embedded app view. This one is the dynamic email is what it used to be called, and now it's called embedded app view. And so for this one, we're saying we're going to move it to the campaign table, and then it's going to send an email to myself. And this is where you can put like the subject line and the email body and everything there. All right. There's other email parameters here, such as CC and BCC, reply to, customize the from name. So I usually put the app name. So we can call this marketing campaign builder app. And just so that way we know where this email is coming from. And then if you wanted to do a body template, so you want to use like a document to generate the email instead of the actual this email body field right here, you can go ahead and use a Word document or a Google document, and it'll create it for you right here. So I'll demo that in just a minute. And then we have our attachment settings here. So you can choose PDF. They also have CSV, HTML, JSON, just a lot of different, there's an ICS calendar automation, a lot of different options there. And then you can also create an attachment for this as well. So we usually use this for like reports. If we want to send like reports based off of like, orders or inventory items, stuff like that. That's what the template is really good for. And that is usually from a scheduled send. And then you can have the attachment file storage there, the folder path. So you can set that, and you can set it dynamically. So you can use columns and your selection there, disable the timestamp. And then there's other attachments as well. So you can add more. There's also the naming of it there. Okay, so let's actually just save it like this. So we have this one, and we can see what it looks like when we send this first version of this email. Okay, so I'll go ahead and save it like that. And then head back over to my app so I can add a new campaign. And so our first one was here, back to school campaign. I want to go ahead and add another campaign. And this one, let's see what we got. College football is coming up. So let's talk about some college football and the World Series. So you can get ready. Well, maybe not the World Series, but at least playoffs. And I don't know if y'all are Astros fans, but we want the Astros to get back to the World Series again. Yeah, Stefan says Giga Aggies. Yep. So that's our team over here in Texas. So we've got the campaign description. College football is coming. All right. And then campaign description is score a touchdown for your business, right? Because we want everyone to win. All right. Target audience is, let's see, football fans. All right. And then we have our start date and our end date prompted for us. And we have not started this campaign yet. And then that is metadata right there. And then we can go ahead and save that record. Okay. So what should we expect? From here, we should expect that there's going to be an email sent over to my inbox, which I just got. And I'm going to go ahead and tag this one in my inbox so you guys can see it and see what it looks like. All right. So sharing this email now. And so you can see here, we got an email from the Marketing Campaign Builder app. This message up here is just notifying us that we can only send it from the person who created the app right now because it's not deployed. But as soon as we deploy it, we can send it to anybody in our workspace or domain that we have listed in the app. Okay, so you can see it sent the new record that I input into the app. So the campaign name, college football is coming, and then the campaign description, scored touchdown for your business. Who's it targeting? Football fans, and then start date and end date. Okay, so not much there that we can't read. This one is a little bit unclean, right? We could clean this up and put a dereference there to help with that record. But overall, it's pretty good. But maybe it's not exactly what we want for this application, right? We want to improve the usability of what we've got here. And so since we're working with data, we have access to all the expressions and everything from AppSheet. And so the first thing that I might change is this notification setting here. I would want to put the actual record that I'm sending so that it notifies me in the email subject line, like what I just received, not just Marketing Campaign Builder notification. And so the way you do that for templates or automations is you have to use these carets. And so don't forget those. When I was first starting out, I always forgot these. I was like, why are my automations not running? So make sure you always remember those. And then over here, we can open up our schema in the AppSheet toolbox. And I can go ahead and click on campaign and copy the campaign name right there. And so now I've got my campaign name that's going to notify me of the new record, and that looks good just like that. So now we have some dynamic data coming in to our inbox. This is already all dynamic, but it's a little bit too much. I don't need to see everything. For example, the created date and time and who created it is already there. We don't really need to see that information. The most important information that we would need is the end date and the start date of the campaign. The status we already know is going to be not started. And then the campaign name is good. Campaign description is good. The target audience is helpful information, and also the start date. What I might do is just, instead of it being like entered, include it like this. So it's a little bit more structured like that. So let me get that cleaned up right there. And then might include like a little beginning message. Gotcha. I was reading Dustin's comment right there. You used to use the carets 20 plus years ago for old school mail merge taglines for Microsoft Word. Nice. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that's where it came from. I wonder if that's where it originated, or if that's just what, maybe that's where another version of it started. Okay, so we've got our email body, and I might just write like, this message is to notify you of the upcoming marketing campaign. And then, list all the campaign information. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks. And then we can do who created the record here. So that would be our created by column. And so now this should look more like an email and less like a robot, because it's better if it doesn't look like a robot, right? People are less likely to ignore it especially if we're trying to get work done, we want it to look more like it's a important message, right? And so another thing we could add to the top of it is hi, and we don't have this column yet, but I'll put it in assigned to. And then we have all the information there like that. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and save that. It's probably going to give me an error message because I need to come over here to my Google Sheets data, click on the campaign table, and I'm going to go ahead and add an assigned to column. We'll do it right here. And then we'll head back over to AppSheet. And remember, we go to data and campaign, and we're going to regenerate that table so we can have an assigned to column. Okay, and we could do an enum list to have multiple members assigned, but we're just going to do a reference. And we're going to reference the user table so that we can get people's emails that we want to assign this campaign to. Okay, and then we can save that. And you can see it already fixed our automation because that's what I called the column in my email body. And now it's fixed. All right. So we'll do one more improvement after this because this is going to look a whole lot better. It looks a little bit less like a robot, but we might want to do one more thing. Okay, so let's go ahead and test this one now and add the next record. So this time I'm just going to go ahead and put test and test description to save us on some time. And target audience, we'll continue with the football fans. And Austin Skidmore is who it's assigned to. The due dates and not started, and that's fine there as well. So we'll go ahead and save it like that. And then we'll wait for AppSheet to sync and go ahead and click it so it sends us that email. And head over to my email inbox and let you guys have a look. All right, so I got the test notification here. And so we already got a bug. So it's sending my email, not my name. So I need to do a dereference there. And we've got the message. This message is to notify you that the upcoming marketing campaign. So it does the test description, football fans, etc. Right? And so the one thing we need to update is the dereference. All right, so I'm actually going to show you guys that in the next update or iteration of this. And so that update is going to be other email parameters. So I want to add some more formatting. And so I'm going to ask AppSheet to create me an email body template for this, and I'm going to go ahead and view it. Okay, and so right here, we got a nice bit of low code stuff in our document. We're going to go ahead and erase all of that and just add our email body right here. And so copying and pasting what we got over there straight to here, because we don't need the rest of that. We just need this message here. And I want to make these bold, each of these. So this is how you can add a little bit of formatting. Now you're not going to get pixel perfect messages with AppSheet, but you can get at least not robot looking messages, which is better than nothing. All right. So I'm just adding some additional formatting there. And then assigned to, we need a dot. And then I think it's just name. I'll check that column in just a minute and go ahead and add this one too down here. And we only need one bracket. Okay, so assigned to .name is our dereference feature. And then all of these are actual values And so everything should be good there. And we're missing a comma. That's not for coding purposes. That's just for grammar and a nice email message, right? Okay, so if we go back, yep, very good point, Dustin. So it doesn't play too nice with like the formatting, doesn't play too nice with AppSheet email templates. You're exactly right. So use it with caution. It is better than nothing, but yeah, it does. It's not going to give you pixel perfect stuff, but you can get better than nothing. Okay, so let's go ahead and add one more test record, see if that helped clean up our email just a little bit for us. And click our football fans, assign to myself, and not started. Okay, let's save that record. Now I'm going to hop back over here to my inbox and go ahead and, okay, there's the message, and share this tab again. All right, so there you go. You can see hi, and it says my name, my full name. And then we have this message is to notify you of the upcoming marketing campaign. We got the bold there. We lost our hash mark, but that's all right. We got an indent. And then test description, target audience, start date, end date. And then let me know if you have any questions. And then thanks myself. So notifying myself that I input a campaign, right? All right, so, but that's just for demonstration to show you guys that's kind of end-to-end how you would set up a workflow if you wanted to notify somebody about a new record that you input into your app. So you can use that for inventory management, for orders, right? Whatever you need to use this automation for, notifying about project updates. Hey, you've got a new task for your project. So really the possibilities are endless from that point. All right, so that's going to wrap it up. Let's go ahead and do a quick review, and we'll talk about our automation steps. So we learned how to create a bot today, configure that event, and then add the steps at the very end. And we also did some more customization there. So automation steps are complete. Tomorrow we're going to talk about launching and deploying AppSheet apps. So that will y'all can look forward to that one. So a quick review, talked about automation tutorials for AppSheet, got some real-time engagement for you guys, and then tomorrow's test and deploy tutorial for AppSheet. So be sure to stick around for that. If you guys want to schedule a tech talk with us, this is where if you're a CEO, a CIO, or a COO, we want to help you grow your business with AppSheet. If you're already using AppSheet, please contact us. If you're new here and you're here for the free content, you don't worry about this. This is just to notify everybody else that this is the best way to contact us, right? And so you can go ahead and click on the link below and schedule a call. You can talk with an expert, discuss your use case, make informed decisions, and move forward with an action plan with us. So I want to thank everybody today for joining and spending some time with me. I really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to learn and talk about AppSheet with us. So with that, I'm Austin from AppSheet Training, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Y'all have